In this video, I'll show you how to create a dictionary app using React. We are going to use React as our front end and we will use a public dictionary API to get the data and show the meaning of the word to the user. Let's move on to our computer screen and let's get started. So the very first thing that I want to do is to create a new project. So let me create a new React app. In fact, I'm going to use Next.js because it's very convenient to use Next.js, and Next.js uses React. So I'll Google create next app, and by using create next app, I can create a new Next.js app. So let me wait for this to load, and then I'll copy this. Let me use yarn. You might be interested in using npm, that's totally fine. What I'll do now is I'll right click. In fact, I'll go back and right click, new terminal at folder. I'm going to paste this command. I'll say I want to create a new next app, and it will ask me the name of the app. I'll say dictionary app, and I'm going to host this application to Linode at the end of this tutorial. So stay tuned for that as well. It is taking some time. It's asking me for the name of the app. So it's saying, what's the name of your app, or what do you want your app name to be? So I'll say dict Linode, and I'm not going to use TypeScript, no ESLint, no src directory, no app directory, and I'm going to keep all the options as default. And let me wait for it to finish. And yes, it will take some time, but I'm going to wait for it. And in the meantime, what I'll do is I'll find some way to get word meaning data, because that is the ultimate thing. That is how I'm going to make my dictionary app work. Okay, so let me come back to Google and let me search for something related to dictionary API. Let's see if we can find some free dictionary API. So yeah, there is a free dictionary API. Let's see if they have any API token or something. I'll look it up. Or rather I'll open this in Google. So I'll say go to this link and let me see if it can tell me the meaning of abstract. Oh wow, this API is amazing. I mean, do they have any limitation or something? I'm not sure, but I think this API is amazing. I never thought that I'm going to find this fantastic API, and it's a good news for us. So let me do one thing. Let me read about it. It says that the basics index looks something like this, which looks good to me. As an example, to get definition of English word hello, you can send request to this. Okay, awesome. And then they'll tell you a bunch of these things. Let me see, what do they tell about this word? They tell about phonetics, meanings, and a lot of other things. Part of speech, definitions. I'm interested in definitions actually. So they have given me a lot of definitions of this word. So word is abstract. This is how you pronounce it. And then they have given me the audio as well. Wow.
Abstract.
Oh my god, this is amazing. This is really amazing. I'm impressed with this API. You can also play this this music or the audio, and you can see how this word is pronounced, and you can see the source URL as well. And this is how the source URL looks like. Wow, awesome. So let me see if this Next.js app has finished provisioning. Yes, it is now live. I mean, I can see the folder. So let me open a new terminal inside this folder, and let me or rather, let me do one thing. Let me open this folder in VS Code, and we are going to control everything from there. It's very convenient to control everything from VS Code. So how do I open this in VS Code? I'm simply going to drag it like this, and now I can see this folder in VS Code. How do I run this app? I'll say yarn dev. So I'll say yarndev, yarn dev, and yes, this runs on localhost 3000. Now I'll do one thing. I'll press Windows and up arrow key. I've actually connected a Windows keyboard to my MacBook. So Windows and up arrow key, and now I can put this in separate desktop so that I can press Windows and arrow keys to do something like this. This is very convenient actually. You can also do this in Windows, but that's not the topic of this video. Let's get back to our pages. I'm going to open index.js and I'm going to modify this. So inside of index.js, I'm going to write a beautiful UI. And you know what? I'm going to use Tailwind CSS and tail blocks. So let me tell you what are the things that we are going to use. So first thing is tailblocks.cc. This is an amazing website. and then Tailwind with Next.js, because I want to configure Tailwind CSS with Next.js. So I'm going to use this. All I'll do is simply start running the commands. Since I'm using yarn, I'll say yarn add. You might want to use npm and simply copy paste these commands. So if you are using npm, all you do is say npm install. But if you're using yarn, you'll have to say yarn add. This is a difference. Okay. Now this command is finished running. Let me run this command now. Right click, paste, and then I'll press enter. This will initialize tailwind.conf.js and post css.conf.js. Both of these are configuration files that are needed to configure Tailwind CSS. Let me paste the content here. So all we have to do is copy this and paste it here. And then we are going to copy this thing. You can simply click this button and you should be able to copy. And then I'll copy this to I think globals.css, which is inside styles. I'm going to replace this and then npm run dev, but we'll use yarn dev. Okay, so let me run yarn dev. Now you'll say, why are you using yarn in place of npm? Yarn is a little bit faster than npm, and I like yarn. You might want to use npm. It's basically the same thing. Do not worry much about it. If you are a beginner, please use npm, because I've seen a lot of beginners getting confused with yarn unnecessarily. It's simply a way of installing package. Don't get worried with why I am using yarn and why should you also use yarn. You don't have to. You can simply use npm, because all the documentations out there, they use npm, and you should also use npm then, because you are a beginner, and if you want to follow along, it is recommended that you use npm. Now let's try this out. Let's see if this works. So I'm going to come back to index.js. Let me remove all this, and I'm going to add a div tag, or rather I'm going to add div.text text red. And okay, so I'm missing something here. I need to install an extension which is called Tailwind CSS IntelliSense. So Tailwind CSS IntelliSense, come on. It says no extension found. I'm not sure what's wrong. Tailwind. Okay, so Tailwind CSS IntelliSense. It is already installed, but I'm not sure why it's not giving me suggestions. So I'll press text red 50. Okay, we'll figure out why it's not showing me the suggestions, but let's see if it works. I'll say I am a good boy, and we'll see if Tailwind works. Yes, since the this thing is coming in red, this works. Okay, I'm going to restart my server, and I don't know why it's not giving me I'm not sure why it's not giving me this thing. Let me say span dot text bg bg red 600. It's not giving me suggestions. So what I'll do is I'll restart my VS Code. Maybe I'm not sure why it's not giving me suggestions. Let me restart my VS Code and see if I am able to get the suggestions. It's very strange. You should be able to see the suggestions. Span dot text red 50. Okay, so if I say span, and if I say span class is equal to, or class name is equal to text red, yes, now I can get these suggestions. I think it was not able to initialize itself, but again, span dot text red 500. And yeah, I'm able to see the suggestions now. So if I say text start, text justify, I'm able to see all these suggestions. If you don't know what Tailwind CSS is, let me tell you what exactly Tailwind CSS is and how it can help you. So Tailwind CSS is a way to write CSS by giving utility classes to individual HTML elements. This is a new way to provide CSS to your HTML elements, because traditional way consists of adding styles by writing style files or by writing style tags. This way you can keep your styling within individual elements without bloating a lot of things to CSS. And this ships really very fast, because this is compiled to an optimal CSS bundle. I'm not going to go into details, but it's easy to use, it's fast, and it makes a lot of sense to use it. But now what I'll do is I'll come back to, let me restart my server. I think I have not started the server. Yarn dev. Okay. I'll come back to tailblocks.cc and I'll grab some navbar from here. Let me see if I can grab some good looking navbar. Let me grab this footer first. Copy to clipboard and let me create a component. So what I'll do is I'll create a folder called components, and inside this components folder I'll create navbar.js and rafce. Now I'm able to do rafce, press enter and get this because I've installed an extension called ES7 plus React Redux React Native snippets. If you haven't installed this extension, make sure you install it. Very convenient and really very simple to use. Another file I want to create here is footer.js, capital FOOTER.js. You might want to call it header footer. You might want to call it navbar, and what do they call it? They call it footer as well. Anything, I mean, whatever you feel like. RAFCE and footer. Okay, this works. Okay, we have created a navbar, we have created a footer. Now I'm going to copy this thing to my footer. So inside of this div, I'm going to copy this and I'm going to change all the occurrences of class is equal to class name is equal to, because I'm using React and you cannot use class is equal to because class is a keyword in JavaScript. So anytime you are using React or Next.js, you will have to use class name is equal to when you're giving classes to your elements. Okay. Let's see how it looks. It's not going to look any different because I have not added this navbar inside of my app.js. So let me add it. But before I add it, I'll have to do something like this and wrap everything inside of this React fragment. And I'll say navbar. Navbar, it'll automatically import my navbar as you can see. And this should display my navbar now. Come on navbar, come on navbar. Oops, it's not displaying any navbar because I'm not returning this fragment. So I'll have to move this here so that this fragment is being returned. Now you will see the navbar. Also, I'll add footer because I want to add footer to each and every page. So whenever you add something to _app.js, you are going to see that thing on all the pages. Okay, so I'm going to see navbar and footer in all the pages, and rest of the page will be residing between navbar and footer, if that makes sense. Okay, so we have the navbar, we have the footer. Let me change tailblocks.cc to dictap. Let's call it dictap. I'll right click and format documents just so that it looks good. And in place of tailblocks, I'm going to write, I'll say right click, change all occurrences. There is only one occurrence of this thing, I guess. I'll say dictap. Okay, and it will change it to dictap here. Okay, and you can put your tagline here, whatever you want here. It's really very convenient to use this thing if you don't want to spend a lot of time creating UIs. Okay, so let me come back to navbar. Let me see if I can find some good navbar here. I think they call it header, so I'll search for header. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, so we have this header here. I feel this header looks just fine. You might want to change it. You might want to write your custom CSS, but this looks good, at least for this project. Okay, so let me copy this and let me paste it between this div, and let me change all occurrences of class is equal to class name is equal to. So let me change all occurrences and let me add class name is equal to, and you'll see the navbar will change here now. So we have this navbar here. Once again, I'm going to add dictap in place of tail blocks. So let me come back here, and another thing that I want to do is come to command palette and toggle word wrap so that I don't see that horizontal scroll bar. I don't like it. Okay, so you might want to toggle it if you want, but I'm going to write dictap here, and let me see how it looks. It looks pretty good. Let me add some of the links here. You can design your dictap however you feel like, but I'm going to add few buttons here. So the first one is going to be home, second one is going to be about, and then contact. Feel free to add as many links as possible. Let me see if this is looking good in phone or not. Oh yes, it looks pretty good in phone. Very nice. How does it look on an iPad? Let me see. On iPad here it looks pretty good as well. Awesome, because between the header and footer will come our main website. So we are yet to build it, and we will build it very soon. So let me now work on the word meaning page. Let me see which page can be used to get the meaning of the dictionary. I'm going to use this one because I want to market my app and I want to show people that, hey, come to this app and you will find all the meaning of all the words, buy all the meanings, whatever you are selling, or if you want to build a website which is just for free, simply showcase it that, you know what, we can show you meanings of all the words for free. Come and use our website. Okay, I'm going to remove this and I'm going to replace class is equal to with class name is equal to. Another thing that you will have to do is, let me first toggle word wrap. Another thing which you will have to do is, you'll have to do something like this. I mean, you cannot have an opening tag. You will have to close it, either make it self-closing or close it with a closing tag. Since BR is a self-closing tag, I'll have to add this. And same goes for IMG as well. Let me see if there is any other tag that needs to be closed. No, I don't find any other tag. I think we are good to go. But I'm interested in changing this text and this text because this is looking very raw. It looks like a template. It looks pretty good, by the way, but it looks like a template. So let me change it. Before the offer ends, I'll say subscribe to our API. Subscribe to this dict tab. I mean, it sounds very strange for people to start paying for a dictionary app, but again, I'm simply creating a demo app here, so don't take it very seriously. Let me find some image for here. So I'll say dictionary image, dictionary, square image. So square image. Let me see if I can find a square image somewhere. So dictionary square image. No. I'm not able to find any image. Let me see if I can use this image. Open image in a new tab, copy this image, and where is my image tag? So instead of using dummy image, it's better to use, wow, it looks pretty good. I mean, I'm impressed. Okay, so before this offer ends, subscribe to this dict tab and you can write something here and start using. I'm going to add a button called start using free, and then I'll say pricing. Oh my god, it's looking pretty realistic. It's looking good and it's looking like a real app. So once somebody clicks start using, let me do one more thing. I'll come here, I'll say start using. Start using. Let me call it start using. Okay. Let me do one thing. Let me replace all these anchor tags with a link tag in Next.js. So link tag in Next.js will actually, okay, so I'm going to import link and I'll say href is equal to, oops, I want to add href just in the opening tag. Href is equal to, let me call it slash, and let me call it start, and let me call it contact. I'm not creating a contact page for this tutorial. I'm simply going to create this page. You can create contact page just by copying the elements from tailblocks.cc. You know what to do. Okay, I'll come back to the pages folder. I am going to create a file called start.js. Did I call it start? Yes, I called it start, RAFCE, and I'll say start. Let me see if I'm able to navigate to this page by clicking here. Yes, I'm able to navigate to this page. Home will take me to home page, start will take me to start page, contact will take me to a 404 page, because we have not created a contact page. Let me do one thing. Let me quickly, I mean very quickly, create a contact page. Let me see how much time it takes for me to create a contact page. Contact, and all I'm going to do is simple copy paste. Come on, let's copy paste something from here very quickly. I'm not going to waste a lot of your time. Okay, oops. Okay, so here is a contact page. I'm going to simply copy this, simple copy paste, no rocket science. Copy to clipboard and paste it here. And then I'm going to say change all occurrences. I want to add name to all the classes equal to, and let me close this input tag because it's going to throw error if I don't do that. Where is the closing tag? Let me toggle word wrap. Okay, so here is the closing tag. Is there any other error on the page? No, there isn't any other error on the page. This is how contact page looks like. It says that you cannot use style. Oops, where is style? Let me see. So it says style is equal to, okay. So if you want to use style in Next.js, you will have to create it an object. Okay, no worries. We'll create it as an object. Okay, so filter is this, and then let me see if I'm able to quickly fix it. I think this should be good to go. It again says style prop. Okay, it works now, and the page loads, the map loads. We have made it work. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay, now start using contact home, and this button is looking pretty ugly. So let me change it to pricing. Okay, pricing. So I'll call it pricing. I'll not call it button. I'll say pricing. Okay, if you want to see the pricing, simply click here. We'll show you the pricing. Okay, and if you want to click here, if you want to see the pricing from here, you can click here as well, and you'll be taken to the same page. Start using. Most of the people will be interested in this page. And let me see if I can find some horizontal search bar where someone can type the words, and once they start typing the word, they should be able to see the meaning to those words. So this is CTA. Okay. Okay, so this page is something which can be used. Okay, so let me copy code to this page, copy to clipboard, and let me see if I can paste it here. Yes, I can. I should be able to paste it here. Now, a lot of people must be wondering, why am I using a div tag? What if you don't want to use a div tag? If you don't want to use a div tag, you can remove it and you can wrap your entire page inside a React fragment. This is also possible. Okay. I'm going to toggle word wrap, and I'm going to close this input tag. Okay. You can alt click. Wait, let me toggle in screencast mode. You can alt click to get multiple cursors in VS Code. I know most of the people know about this, but again, in case you don't, you know what to do. Okay. So preview. So this is the page. This is the page, which is the main page for our dictionary app. Let me use ChatGPT. Why am I not using ChatGPT? Chat.openai.com. Now, if you don't know what ChatGPT is, you should be knowing what ChatGPT is. Okay. Let me continue with Google. Let me use my Google account, and let me say write a 200-word description for a dictionary app homepage. Okay. Welcome to our dictionary app homepage. Our app is designed to go wow. So you can copy this to, make your customers, to attract your customers. Okay. Let me paste it here. Let me see how it looks. It looks like a lot of text. Let me remove some of the text, and yeah, whether you're a student, professional, or just someone who loves language, your app has everything you need to stay on top of your game. Awesome. Type a word. I'll say type a word. Oops. I'll say type a word. Okay. And let me remove this div tag, and I'll say find meaning. Get meaning. Okay. So type a word, get meaning. Let me bring this button below this input tag. I think this has flex row. Let me make it flex column. So SM is flex row. Then we have flex column. Why is it not working? Okay, so we have a div here. Let me wrap it inside of this div. Wait, I think I made a mistake. No, I haven't made any mistake. So this is a div. This is a div, and this is another div. Let me do format document here. It sometimes gets tricky to understand the UI, so you'll have to look closely and understand what is happening. So as you can see that it has flex call, but again, why is it not showing me the content inside a column? Let me see what's going wrong here. So this is flex call. So it has flex row, then flex call. Okay, so from SM breakpoint, it is flex row. So I'll remove this. I don't want to make it flex row. I want to make it flex column. This should fix it. Yeah, it fixed it. But again, why is this get meaning being thrown towards the right? Let me see what's going wrong here. So text white, okay, item send, because it has item send, I'll have to remove this item send. Okay, sometimes even if you have to spend like half an hour or 1 hour on a very simple UI, don't get shocked, because this is how UI works, this is how coding works. It's part of the game. Let me add vertical margin. So where is the button? So I'll add some margins. I'll say class name is equal to my2. Let me see if I can add some margin, some vertical margin. I just added some vertical margin. What's going wrong here? So my3, I added my3. Why is it not working? So my3 has been added, still it doesn't work. my3, I think my3 is not there in Tailwind. my4, my3 is there, I guess. I don't know what's going wrong here. Why is it not adding margin? Let me see what's going wrong here. So this is a box and I'm trying to add some margins to it. It's not able to get the margins. Something is wrong. Okay, so we have added space y0. This is the reason. So let me remove this space y0. I'm going to remove space y0, and yeah, now I can see some margins being added. And also let me remove this space x4. I don't need it. Let me see. Yeah, it looks pretty clean now. Okay, so I'll type some word here and I'll get the meaning by clicking on get meaning. Okay, so instead of showing the word and the meaning somewhere here, I'll show the word and the meaning here. Okay, so let me change the let me do something. I'll say, you know what, this is going to be the word. Okay, so I'll say Control X, I'll say word will come here, and I'll use state. I'll say import React, use state from React. Okay, and once again I'll add use state snippet. Okay, use state snippet. I'll say word set word is equal to dictionary app is the default value of the word, and this is the meaning. Okay, this is the meaning. I'll say meaning, and once again we'll use state snippet, and we'll say meaning set meaning is equal to use state, and this is going to be the meaning, and nothing changes here because this is word, this is meaning. Now what I'll do is I'll change the word and the meaning when somebody clicks on get meaning. Okay, so I'll create a function called get meaning. I'll say const get meaning is equal to ANFN, and I'll say, okay, this is a function which is being called, and whenever somebody calls this function get the meaning of the word, I'll say get the meaning of the word. Okay, so the very first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to say set word. I'm going to set the word to word, or rather let me not do it. I'll create another function. I'll say const handle change is equal to ANFN. I'll say E, and then I'll say E dot target dot name, or rather let me say if E dot target dot name is word, you set the word, you say set word E dot target dot value, or if it's meaning, else if this is meaning, then you change the E dot target dot, sorry, you change the meaning. Okay, so what we are doing here is we are saying that if the name attribute of this thing is word, so let me add a name attribute. Wait, okay, so there's is a mistake here. I think I have not added name here. Name is full name, so I'll have to change the name is equal to, I'll say word and get meaning. Okay, so we don't need this. I'm sorry, we don't need this because we only have the control of changing the word. We don't have any control of changing the meaning. Okay, so if E dot target dot name is word, you change set word, and I'll say handle change is equal to I'll say on change is equal to handle change. Okay, so on change is equal to handle change. Oops, why is it not working? Not sure what's happening here. Handle change, yes. Okay, awesome. So I think if I add something here, it will come up here. Okay, that's fine. And if I click on get meaning, the meaning should get changed. Okay, so when somebody clicks on get meaning, I want to say let res is equal to fetch, and fetch what? Fetch this thing. I'm very lucky to find this API. Seriously, this is amazing. I never thought I'm going to get this amazing API. And I'll add word here. I'll say $word. Okay, and this will give me the response. I'll say await. I'll say let response is equal to await rest.json, and I'll await this as well, and I'll make it an async function so that I can await. Okay, and then I'll say now that I've got the response, let me change the meaning. So I'll say set meaning, and what will be the meaning? The meaning is going to be the I think I'll get the first meaning, or let me see if I can get the best meaning somehow. So it's giving me synonyms, it's giving me parts of speech definition. So if it's a verb, these are the definition. If it's a noun, what are the definitions? So I'll see what is the meaning that it gives me. So definition, part of speech, noun. So I'll get the first item from the meanings array. So I'll say you know what, let m is equal to, I'll say response meanings, and I want the first one out of the meanings. So I'll land here, and then I want the definition. I'll say then I want definition from it, definitions, then definition. So I'll say dot definitions dot definition. Okay, and I will say set meaning, and then m. Okay, or meaning text. Let me call it meaning text so that you know what it contains. Now let's try the app. Let's call it let's see what's the meaning of link. Nothing happened. Let's see what's going wrong here. Okay, so whenever somebody clicks on this button, I should say that on click should call get meaning. Okay, get meaning is not defined. What's wrong here? Oops. Okay, so m is capital in meaning. M is capital. Okay, awesome. Let me reload this page and let me see. Okay, so it says that you should use class name. Am I using class is equal to? Yes, I am. Let me fix it for all occurrences. Class name, and then there is something called label. This for should be called HTML for, because for is again the for loop in JavaScript. Let me see if there are any more errors. Stroke width. Okay, stroke width is there, stroke line join is there, stroke line gap is there. Okay, so stroke dash. Let me see where it's there. So let me do Control F, stroke dash. Okay, so I'll show you how I'll fix it. So I'll select stroke dash. I'll say change all occurrences. You need to learn this. Look carefully, don't ignore me, okay? Because this is very important. This will teach you a lot of VS Code skills. So I actually selected stroke dash, right click, change all occurrences. Then I'm using my arrow key, right arrow key, backspace. Now I want to capitalize this line caps first character. So I'll press shift, then I'll select the first character. Once again, right click, command palette. Then I'll say transform to uppercase, This will transform it to uppercase, and I've fixed stroke line cap, stroke width, stroke line join, everything. Okay, now you will see that there will be no errors related to stroke thing. There are some errors, but they are not coming from this page. They are coming from the footer. So let me fix it in footer as well in a very similar fashion. So I'll select this. Okay, I've selected it, change all occurrences. Backspace, select first character, then again right click, command palette, transform to uppercase. Okay, now let's see if we still have any errors left. No, we don't. Let me search for link, get meaning. Okay, so it says that cannot read properties of undefined. Let me see what is the API response. I also want to log the API response so that I can debug this app. Okay, so let me come back to start.js. Let me print this response. I'll say console.log response. Show me what the response is. And now if I click on get meaning, it shows me the response. So the very first response. So again, response is an array. And I need to get the first entry of this array first. So this is an array. So I need to get the first entry of this array. Then I need to go to meanings. So I'll get the first entry of this array. So I'll say response is an array. Let me get the first entry of this array. And now if I click on get meaning, I should have gotten the meaning, but no, I haven't. Something is wrong. So meanings and then definitions, and then the first thing from definitions, and I need definition from that. Okay, so something is wrong here. Let me see what's wrong. So this is how the response looks. Once again, let me click on get meaning. Yes, things seem to be working, but again, why am I not able to change the meaning? So I use set meaning text. Okay. Also, meaning should appear here, but meaning is not changing. Let me see what's going wrong. Let me console.log meaning text. Let me see what is the meaning text. So meaning text is actually undefined. So it's going to the first. So I said go to the first entry of this array, then go to meanings. Okay, it will go here, then the first element from meanings, then it will go to definitions. Then I should go to first element from definitions. Okay, so this is the mistake. And then you get the definition. Now if I click on get meaning, I will expect the meaning to come here. So I'm just pulling one meaning out of this entire JSON response. You might want to add more meanings. You might want to traverse the array. There are a lot of things which can be done. So I'll ask you to go ahead and change this app such that it shows you all the meanings 1, 2, 3, 4. Now again, this thing is sounding very exciting to me. What I'll do is I will also change this app in such a way that it will show me the audio as well. So I'll say const audio, or rather use state snippet audio set audio is equal to use state. Now if audio is present, I will show an audio tag. So I'll say audio and end, and I'll show an audio tag. So let me see if I can see the audio tag. Audio is a tag, Emmet abbreviation. Okay, src is equal to, src is going to be audio. Okay, and let me see if this works. So where is the audio? Audio is there in the response. Where in response? Let me see. So I'll say inside the very first entry of this array, you go to phonetics and you go to audio. So I'll say audio is equal to set audio. I'll say response dot phonetics dot response 0 dot phonetics 0 dot audio 0 dot audio 0 dot audio. And let me see if it's setting the link or not. So if I click on get meaning, it says cannot read properties of undefined. Okay, so I need to put link here. So I'll say link get meaning, and there is another error. Let me see what the error is. So it says that sorry Paul, we couldn't find definition for the word you were looking for solution. Wait, let me reload this page and let me say link get meaning. And why am I not seeing the audio? I'll have to see. I'll say console.log this thing so that I can see if I'm setting the correct audio or not. Now if I click on get meaning, okay, so I can get the link to the audio, but why is this not shown? I want to see this thing here somewhere. This audio tag is not visible and I need to debug it. Let me do something about it. So I'll say div audio tag is here. Let me wrap this audio tag inside of this. Okay, so audio tag is here. Let me reload this page. Audio tag is not here. Now if I type link and get meaning, audio tag is here, but audio tag is not visible. So let me see how to put HTML audio tag. I think I'm doing some mistake in adding the HTML. Okay, so this is how you add the audio tag. Okay, yes, so src is equal to audio. Yes, this should work. Source, yeah, format document. And I know I've placed it at the wrong place. I should be placing it somewhere here. So let's see if this works.
Link.
Yes, it works. It works. But you know what? I want to do something even better. I want to show it. Not now. I want to show it right beside this get meaning. Let me see if I can do that. So we have this div, we have this. I want to add flex. So I'll say display flex and then justify content somehow like this, space between, justify between. Yeah, it looks good. Justify between. So I'll say flex justify between. This looks pretty good. Yes, so now I can listen to any word like this.
Link.
So let me see how to pronounce dentist. Okay, so I can't see any link. I think the audio is not available. Or is it? Let me see. So we got the array source URLs. Okay, so the audio is not available in this case. No, it is available, I guess. So text is here, audio is here. So text dentist, audio is there, but it's inside the first element. Okay, so sometimes it's inside the first element, sometimes it's inside the second element. But again, you can write the logic to get it from first element or the second element. Let me try some other word. Recording, get meaning. So it says that cannot read properties of undefined, reading audio. So we'll have to check for whether these things are available or not. So this phonetics is not available. So let me say if phonetics is available. So I'll say question mark dot phonetics is equal to. So now if I click get meaning, it will give me the meaning, but it will not throw an error. So I'll say recording, get meaning. Okay, so I'll have to add question mark dot here also. And let me remove this console log. Okay, now if I say recording and if I press this get meaning, yes, it works. Okay, now let me say meaning, get meaning.
Meaning.
Okay, it works. So our dictionary app works. It looks great. It looks amazing. There is a lot of scope of improvement. Let me do one thing real quick. Let me host this application to Linode. Okay, now at times you might want to host it using Node.js, but since this is a static web app, it's not using any API, it's not using any database. I will build it and I'll show you how to build a Next.js application and then host it inside of a Linode. So let me press Ctrl C and I'll say yarn build. Now yarn build will actually build this Next.js application and the build will be somewhere inside here. Okay, so this is how this app is built. So inside package.json, I'll come to package.json. There will be a command called next build, but we want to add a command called export and we'll say I want to build and I want to export. So next build and next export. I'll say yarn export and this will run next build and next export and you will see the build somewhere here. So it's building it and I think it failed. Let me see what's wrong here. So it says that image.unoptimized is equal to true to disable image optimization API. So default loader is not compatible with next export. Okay, so we are going to add this. We are going to add this inside our next.config.js. Okay, and let me Let me see what's wrong. So configure this to disable image optimization API. So let me see if I can open this link and fix it somehow. Let me do one thing. I'm going to remove the import which I'm not using. So I have actually added these imports. I'm not using these imports. So let me remove these and let me try to do yarn export and remove this also. Okay, so now if I do yarn export, it should successfully export my app inside of this out. Now this .out folder is my static HTML app. So let me open this. I can drag this folder here to open this folder, and let me open index.html and go live. So this will open this in live server. Very similar app, but it has been exported as a static app now. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me click on contact, start using. Is it working? Is it even working? Let's see. So get meaning.
Link.
Yes, it's working. Awesome. So this is how you can export your application as a static web app. Now let me host it on Linode. You can go to linode.com. I'll show you a very quick way to host your apps, any kind of app inside of a Linode. So let me log in and let me log in. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll create a new Linode. Linode is a VPS. You can simply click on create and then Linode. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a nanode. It's really very cheap and it's ideal for your basic web apps. Especially for this one, I'm going to use Linode, nanode. Okay, let me create Ubuntu 22 machine. Searching for Ubuntu 22. Yes, 22 LTS. Region is going to be New York. Okay, let me click on create Linode, and it will take some time to provision. And in the meantime, what I'll do is I'll come to this object storage. Now you'll say, why are you using object storage? I'm using object storage, my friend, because I want to zip it and I want to upload it to object storage. Then I'm going to pull this website right inside of my Linode. I'll show you all this in action. Let me zip it first. So I'll say right click, reveal in Finder, and let me select this folder. Let me select this folder, right click, compress. I want to compress it, and let me call it static build, or rather let me call it dig.zip. Okay, now since I want to upload it inside of my object storage, let me drag it here. So it is uploading it. I think it has finished uploading it. Let me click on dig tab. Let me change its access control list to public, because if you want this file to be public, you will have to change it to public. Public read, save, copy the link. Let's see if our Linode is provisioned. I think it should have been provisioned by now. Yes, I see it running. I'll come to Lish console. And after coming to Lish console, I'm going to install Apache 2. So I'll say apt install Apache 2. But let's wait for it to finish provisioning. You know what? You can even do something like this. You can say ssh root at 104.237.146. You'll say, Harry, why are you typing? Why can't you simply copy paste? I can actually copy paste, but I have actually copied the password in the clipboard and I don't want to lose it. So type yes. Then I'm going to right click, paste my password, enter, and I'll be taken inside this Linode. Come on, Linode, log in, please. Yes. Now what I do is I'll say apt update, and then I'll install Apache 2 server. Apache 2 server is very ideal for hosting simple static web apps. Okay. Let's wait for it to happen. And then I'll say apt install Apache 2. It will install Apache 2 inside of my machine. So let me wait for this to finish. Now if you wait, I think it's done. Apt install Apache 2. Why enter? Yes, I want to install it. Copy this link and paste it here. Nothing happens. Okay, but wait for the magic. The moment I finish installing Apache 2, you'll see this default Apache 2 page and it says it works. but I don't want to see this default page. I want to see my web app. How do I do that? Really very simple. Let me come back to my Linode page. Where is my Linode page? Yeah. Come back to object storage. Let me copy link to this dig.zip. I'll say cd/var/www and I am now inside of this directory. Now, how do I know that the default HTML page is inside this directory? Experience, my friends. It's there in the Apache 2 documentation. Okay. You can simply follow along. cd HTML. Now I'll use wget and I'll paste this link and this will download the dig.zip. Now I'll say unzip dig.zip. Okay, apt install unzip. It says that you'll have to install unzip. Why enter to proceed? Okay, so it's not asking me any questions. Otherwise it usually asks whether you want to install it or not. Okay, anyways, unzip dig.zip please. Okay, so it's taking a lot of time. There are a lot of static files. We'll wait for it to unzip this. So it says replace index.html. Yes, please. Yes, please. Because I want to replace it and I want to see my web app. Yes, it works. Okay, so we have hosted our app successfully on Linode. You can try out by visiting this URL, but most probably I'll delete it. So please do it yourself. Host your app. And let me show you that it works. So let me say link, get meaning.
Link.
Okay, awesome. So you can try this app out. There are a lot of things which could be done. Again, you can add multiple meanings to a word. You can pull a lot more data from the API that we are using, but this is how you create a very basic dictionary app. Feel free to take it forward. I hope you like this video. I hope you were able to understand the basics of how to use an API in Next.js and how to finally finish your application and host it on a Nanode. Thank you so much guys for watching this video, and I will see you next time.